You are awake at 2:14 in the morning. The house is quiet. Your body is tired in the way that should have pulled you under an hour ago. But you are not asleep because at 9:40 this evening, someone said no worries at the end of a message. And you have spent the last 4.5 hours deciding what the worries were that they had to wave off. You replay it. You replay the thing you said before it. You compose a better version of the thing you said, and you replay that. And for a moment, it feels like you fixed something. You didn't. The conversation ended 6 hours ago. It ended for them at 9:40. For you, it is still going. This is your life as an overthinker. And the part nobody tells you, the part you will spend 30 years learning, is that the mind racing in the dark was never broken. It was trained. It learned a long time ago that if it just thought hard enough, it could keep you safe. It never learned that the danger was over. Rewind. You are 7. You are very good at reading a room. And you did not learn it for fun. You learned it because the room was worth reading. You learned to know from the sound of a key in a door which kind of evening it was going to be. You learned to have the answer ready before the question came, to see the mood 3 steps ahead, to never be caught unprepared. Because being caught unprepared once did cost you something you decided never to pay again. Nobody calls this overthinking yet. They call it mature for your age. They call you so observant. A teacher says you don't miss anything, and she means it as praise, and you take it as praise, and you do not yet understand that a child who doesn't miss anything is a child who learned somewhere that missing something was dangerous. The engine starts here. It is a good engine. It is enormous, and it is already running in the dark while other 7-year-olds are simply asleep. You are 7, and your mind has just been handed a job it will not put down for the rest of your life. Watch everything, predict everything, so nothing can hurt us again. You are 15. The engine is paying off now, and this is the cruel part, because if it only ever hurt, you'd have set it down years ago. It doesn't only hurt, it wins. You see the argument before it forms. You read the teacher, the bully, the friend who's about to stop being one. You're the one who notices the small thing that turns out to be the big thing. People come to you because you've already thought about it. Whatever it is. You thought about it last night at 2 a.m. when the engine was running and the rest of the world was off. A girl tells you that you understand her better than anyone. What she doesn't know is that you ran 40 simulations of the conversation before it happened. To her, it looks like depth. Inside, it's a control room. You are not more present than other people. You are more prepared, and you cannot tell the difference anymore, and you won't be able to for 15 more years. The engine is a Ferrari now. Everyone can hear it. Nobody can see that it has never once been put in gear and driven somewhere. It just revs brilliantly in place in the dark, getting you ready for a road you never actually pull onto. You are 22. Here is where the gift turns. Slowly, so you don't catch the day it happens. There is a chance in front of you. A real one, the kind you've prepared for your whole life. And you do the thing you've always done. You think. You run it. You see the 40 ways it could go wrong. Because seeing the 40 ways is your superpower. It's the thing that made you so observant at 7. But this time, the seeing doesn't protect you. This time, the seeing is a cage. You can map every failure so vividly that you live each one before it happens. And a mind that has already suffered 40 failures is too tired to attempt the one success. So you wait. You gather more information. You tell yourself you're being careful. Careful was always the word. Careful was the costume fear wore so you'd respect it. The chance closes. Someone else takes it. Someone who saw maybe 4 of the 40 risks and walked through the door anyway. You watch them and you feel the engine rev. I saw more than they did, and you did. You saw everything. Seeing everything is exactly what kept you standing still. The mind that won't switch off, the conversation that won't end, the door you analyzed until it shut. You're starting to suspect they're the same thing. You push the suspicion down. The engine helps you push it down. It gives you 19 reasons it was the right call to wait. You are 28. This is the floor, not a dramatic one. There's no scene, no breakdown. That's not how it comes for people like you. It comes as a quiet accounting, late, the engine running, when you notice that your life is full of almost said it, almost started it, almost reached for the person before you'd finished deciding whether reaching was safe. And the worst part is that you can see it. Of course you can see it. Seeing is the one thing you've never been short on. You can analyze your own paralysis with breathtaking precision. You can explain in flawless detail exactly why you didn't move. The engine will even help you do that. It will produce the perfect diagnosis of why you're stuck. And the diagnosis will feel like progress. And it will be one more lap in neutral. You almost decide this is just who you are. That some minds are watchtowers, and a watchtower's job is to watch, not to live. That the racing was a sentence, and you've been serving it since you were 7. You almost believe that. But somewhere in the dark, you finally ask the engine a question you've never asked it. Not what could go wrong. You ask, what are you protecting me from? Exactly. Right now. Tonight. In this quiet house where nothing is happening. And the engine, for the first time in 21 years, does not have an answer. Because there isn't one. The key in the door stopped meaning danger a long time ago. The engine just never got the message. It's been running drills for a war that ended in your childhood. You are 30. You don't fix it. Let's be honest. You don't get a morning where the mind goes quiet. That was never on offer. The engine is yours for life. What changes is that you finally understand what it was for and that you can give it a new job. You catch it running at 2 a.m., building the case against a conversation that already ended, and instead of arguing with it, arguing is just more revving, you say the new thing. Thank you. There's no danger here. You can stand down tonight. It doesn't obey the first time. It obeys a little the 100th time. You are not silencing it. You are telling a soldier the war's over, gently, again and again, until some nights it believes you. And the paralysis, the cage, you break it the only way a cage like this breaks. You move before the engine finishes its 40 simulations. Not recklessly, just sooner. You act while you're still afraid, because you finally accepted that the fear is not information about the world, it's a habit from a house you don't live in anymore. The first time you do it, say the thing, start the thing, reach for the person before you're certain your whole body braces for the danger the engine has promised your whole life. The danger doesn't come. It was a conversation. It was a Tuesday. The thing your mind spent 23 years protecting you from turns out, mostly to be other people, living their ordinary lives, who said no worries and meant exactly that. You are 34. It is 2:14 in the morning, and you are, occasionally, still awake. The engine still runs. You'd hardly know yourself without it. But tonight, when it reaches for a conversation to replay, you notice it, and you name it, and you let the conversation be over. You think about the 7-year-old listening for the key in the door, learning to read a room so the room couldn't hurt him. You'd tell him, if you could, that he wasn't broken and he wasn't too much, that the enormous mind he was growing was never the problem, that it was only ever waiting for him to feel safe enough to drive it somewhere instead of revving it in the dark. Somewhere right now, a child is lying awake, running a conversation that ended hours ago, certain that if he just thinks it through one more time, he'll finally be ready, finally be safe. The adults call him observant. They call him mature for his age. They do not know they are describing a small engine learning to never turn off. He has a long time ahead of him to learn what that mind is actually for, or he learns it sooner. That thinking was always meant to be the road to a thing, never the room you live in. Maybe you're him. Maybe you're the one still awake right now, replaying, preparing, telling yourself one more pass, and you'll finally be sure. You won't be sure. You were never going to. Be sure, but the house is quiet and nothing is coming. You can let the engine rest tonight.